Hello and welcome to the second video, and we're going to go ahead and see how we're going to link the two tables between table author and the table book. In order to create a link between a many-to-many relationship, we must create a third table that is going to be referred to as the junction table or the associative table, where the link is going to take place between the two tables through this third table. So I'm going to go ahead and create. As you notice, I could go start by creating a table, and I'm going to click on the design, and I'm going to call this TBL junction. And now we could actually think about it with me. Where is the foreign key that is going to come from the author table to the junction table that is going to link this new table with the author table? The author table has a primary key by the name author ID. Okay, and first of all, let's take the primary key here, because we have to think about a different primary key, and of course we're not thinking about it at this moment. We're thinking about the foreign key that will allow us to link the table. So first of all, this must be of the same data type that we specified in the author ID. Also, I can pull these data from that table author through the lookup wizard. I'm going to say I want to look field to get the value from another table. I'm going to say next, and the table is going to be the author, which has already been selected. Next, and I'm going to go ahead and get the author ID, and I will say next, which is great because, of course, I could sort that by the author ID. Let's go ahead and say next. Maybe I could also sort it by later by the whatever I wanted to add. So this is basically the sorted. And I'm going to go ahead and say next and finish. Okay, so I must save the table. Now I'm going to create this as, let's go ahead and put it right here. This is going to be acting as the foreign key inside the junction table to create a one too many with the author table, with say TBL author. So this is basically is very important to understand. This is not a primary key here, it's a foreign key. I don't put the key next to it because it's acting as a foreign key. So what is the thing that we need to do in order to link this table also to the book? So we need to know also where is the book coming from. It's coming from that, I'm going to call it book or ISBN number. Why not? Go ahead and call it ISBN number. As long as it's the same data type. Okay, I could limit it to 6 if I want. And this is also limited to 6. Okay, and this is also foreign key inside the junction table to create a one-to-many relationship with the table book. Okay, to create a one-to-many relationship. I'm going to go ahead and add this word here with previously with the author. All right, the question now, these two are going to be my phone is ringing. I'm gonna go ahead and stop it. And these two basically are going to be thought about initially. Let's go ahead and see. Can we repeat author ID and an ISBN number more than once? in the table junction. If I do that, then I'm going to duplicate the entry. I can duplicate multiple authors' name, author ID, sorry, as long as the ISBN number is different, meaning if I have the same ISBN number with multiple authors, it means that book is written by multiple authors. I could repeat multiple ISBN number with the same author, meaning that author wrote multiple books. That's fine. But the only thing that I cannot do, and we need to be very, very clear about this point, that author ID and ISBN number, both values cannot be repeated at the same time. Therefore, I treat them both together as a primary key that should never be repeated. Therefore, I have to select both of them. Okay, as you see, I'm selecting both of them. Then I'm clicking on the primary key in order to create a primary key that is called composite primary key based on more than one key or more than one field name. Because as you notice, I cannot repeat both values at the same time. So that would actually violate what we consider or define as a primary key. But as you'll notice, one author ID can be repeated as long it is in that aspect. One ISBN number with multiple author ID, that's fine. One author ID with multiple ISBN number, that's fine. But both of them at the same time, the same value cannot be repeated. Of course, I could go ahead and add another one just to see how many entries. I could say here number, okay, and that is auto number, and that's automatically is going to be, even I click on this one here and take it all the way up by dragging it up to start with, and it might not allow me to do it, but obviously it did. So I could go to the junction table and notice I am ready to go ahead and add those things. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead back to the author and add a third author. Okay, and it's going to be 000. Let's go ahead and say what U 9U, and that's going to be, let's say, Susie Jones, and she lives in France, and we could go put another one anyway. So, and this is going to be, it's beeping because I'm not actually following the rule of the input mask. And let's go ahead and put here Sam Jackson, and that is the United States, and that's for author right there. The same thing, we could go to the author or the book, and I could put multiple books here just to actually make it a little bit more meaningful. I'll say here love is stronger than hate, and it's going to be a romance story, and it's going to be $80. Well, that's too much of money. There's no such a thing. So let's go ahead and make it $20, and that is going to be 500 copy of it. And we're going to go ahead and put another one here. Of course, I need to change that. I'm going to say here hard rock is lives, and that is actually let's say here musical. Okay, I'm adding one that didn't exist. 34, and we have 1,000 of those, and now we have 4 books. And for author, I could have 50 authors and 500 books. It's not because I have 4 and 4. It's mean it must be equal. Not at all. Let me go ahead and break that if there's any room for misunderstanding. So I'm going to put H here, actually HH, and we're going to put one more. I'm going to say some fantastic language. I like it a lot. It's coming. It's JavaScript. I like that. Okay, and that's JavaScript programming. So I'm going to putting the word programming there, and it is educational, and it is, let's say, $23, and there is 90 books and it is a hard copy this time. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and close that, and I'm going to go ahead and close this, And now I'm going to go ahead and get that through the junction table. So the junction table is going to allow me to enter an ISBN number, and it's going to allow me to enter an author number. Notice here, I'm going to look at those four and look at those, of course, here in the ISBN number. I never did the link, so I'm going to go ahead and do it right now. There we go. This is the book, and I'm going to go to the design. If it doesn't allow me to go ahead and pull the ISBN number directly through the lookup wizard, as you notice, I will go ahead and we could easily do it through the lookup, this one here. Look here, where's my cursor? And I'm going to go ahead and I will type this. No, actually, I'll pull it from the book. Here we go. And I'm going to go ahead and get the ISBN number. So we have this one here, and sort the ISBN number. Next, and you see all the ISBN number here. Next, and I'm going to leave it so I could have more room here. I will actually enable the data integrity later through what I'm going to be doing in the third video. For now, let's go ahead and stop because in the next videos, we wanted to focus on the fact that how to enforce the referential integrity. So there is no room for us to enter a book without having the ISBN number for it already in the one table. So the junction table will always have, when we enter something in the junction table, the ISBN number already in existence in the book table. And when we enter an author in the junction table, also the author must have been entered in the author table. Thank you for watching. We're going to continue with this in the next video. Thank you.